People of the State of Michigan versus Seth Cody Wood, 2023241. Mr. Wood is with Mr. Felt in his office. Mr. Gabry is the prosecuting attorney, and today is the date set for a plea. Mr. Wood, please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Gabry, what's the offer?
Your Honor, it's my understanding Mr. Wood would enter a plea of guilty to count 2, that'd be sexual conduct in the 3rd degree. That if his plea is accepted, count 1 will be dismissed. And I would make the representation to the court that after meeting with the victim, we are not asking that the court apply SORA. Basically, the court can find that the victim was between the ages of 13 to 15, consented to the conduct, and Mr. Wood is not more than 14.
All right, thank you. Is that correct, Mr. Felt?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Wood, the offer in the case that you plead to 1 count of criminal sexual conduct in the 3rd degree involving a person between the ages of 13 and 50. This is a felony. It's punishable by up to 15 years in prison. And there's mandatory AIDS STD testing, and DNA was to have been taken at the time of the arrest. The other counts would be dismissed, and the prosecutor has indicated that as set out in the statute, this appears to be a matter of consensual intercourse between somebody that is below the age of consent and somebody that is not more than 4 years older than them. And so therefore you will not be subject to the Sex Offender Registration Act. So is that your understanding, Mr. Wood?
Yes, sir.
Judge, if I could for just a moment, we hear you. We seem to have lost the video component of being able to observe what's going on in the courtroom. Let me take a look at this just for a moment, if I may, Judge. There we are. Okay, we're back. Thank you, Judge.
Sure. Okay, so Mr. Wood, you understand the plea offer, do you not?
Yes, sir.
All right. And how do you plead to the charge of criminal sexual conduct in the 3rd degree?
Guilty.
Other than what we've talked about in court today, has anyone promised you anything else to get you to plead?
No.
Anybody threaten you to make you do so?
No, sir.
Are you doing this of your own free will?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand? And Mr. Felt provided you your advice of rights form that indicates all the rights that you're giving up by pleading guilty. Do you remember signing that form?
Yes, sir.
You remember reading it with Mr. Felt?
Yes, sir.
And there's a check mark next to each line, which means that you read and reviewed each of those lines. Is that right?
Yes.
And so you understand you're giving up all those rights.
Yes.
All right. So it alleges that on the evening of January 20th to the morning of January 21st, you were in Fabius Township. Oh, this is 2020. That you were in Fabius Township, County of St. Joseph in the state of Michigan. Is that true?
Yes.
And that at that time, you did have digital and the vaginal penetration with a victim who was under the age of 16 but above the age of 13. Did you have sexual penetration involving your finger in her vagina?
Yes.
And she was under the age of 16 at that time. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Are counsel satisfied that a factual basis has been established by the defendant's statement of facts?
Prosecution is, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are either counsel aware of any other promises, threats, or inducements?
I am not.
No, sir.
Has the court complied with the court rule?
I believe the court has.
Yes, sir.
And in terms of the SORA, we investigated this last week, but it appears that the age difference between the two at the time of the offense was about 3 years, 8 months. So within the 4 years, correct?
It is correct.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, so I find the plea is made knowingly, understandingly, and voluntarily, and there's a factual basis, therefore I accept the plea. I've signed an order for a DNA sample to be taken. Again, that was supposed to have been done at the time of your arrest, but just to be safe, we'll get that done. Pursuant to the statute, conviction in this case requires that bond be canceled pending sentencing, so I will enter an order indicating that bond is canceled. You're to report straight to the jail, Mr. Wood, and then make sure you complete that packet. Did we send that to you, Mr. Felt?
Yes.
We have it and it's been completed, Your Honor, ready to turn in.
All right, you're already done. Okay, and then we will set you for sentencing on July 16th, and we'll see you back here then. All right.